guys, I'm Ryan Houston and welcome to my fly tying channel. The channel contains hundreds of different videos catering from beginners right through to the more advanced tyers and covering flies and patterns from all around the world. If you like what you see, stick around until the end of the video where generally you'll find the pattern description, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. Let's get on with the show.
Hi guys, so what I'm going to show you tonight is something I've been playing around with. When the fresh fish come in, I generally fish a gold shrimp, which is half gold and half silver, orange, and then standard badger at the front in traditional Irish shrimp style. But I've been experimenting a little bit with bristles and shrimp egg style, but this is something different that I tried this year and it worked for me. So I tend to only do this on slightly larger hooks, so 6s and 4s at this sort of time. Later on then I move to just the same pattern but in a more traditional shrimp. So this is a size 4 double. I think it's quite short of shank though. And what I'm going to use to tie this, because I want an orange head or a fluorescent orange head on it, is I'm going to use this Vivus 12-0 in hot orange. So difference with this is, instead of your standard sort of tails, I'm going to use Zonker strip for this. And I'm going to use 2 bits of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it upside down first, so the skin section is up, and tie that down. Tie it down to the bend here. Now Zonker strips may twist, they may tangle, but it's just part and parcel of it. But I've tried to negate this a bit by shortening it a bit. So what I'm going to do here then is I'm going to cut the Zonker strip, and what I want is maybe a half a body length of skin, so quite short, and then just cut that off. But what it'll do then, as you can see, it leaves the fur itself then sticking out the back, so that ends up about double that length. So I'm going to use like a golden pheasant coloured bristle that I've dyed. I'm going to take a bunch of that in and leave that longer than our tail. I'll just trim the ends of that down, set it on, longer than the tie-in point of the rabbit fur, so as we get a taper rather than a stop block. Next then I want a little bit of flash. For this I tend to stick with pearl crystal hair, but I'm not going to go full length of the bristle with that. So I'm going to lay 1 strand on. I don't generally put too many more than 2 strands on, so I fold that back and tie that again back up to this point here. Trim it off, so we're shy of the end by maybe like a middle. And then I'm going to take my Zonker strip again. I'm going to lay that in on top. This time I'm going a bit further down the shank again. And what this will do is it adds to that taper, but the hairs from here then get tied down and give me that little bit more bulk up on top, almost like a wing but at the rear. So we tie that down to the back. And then we want to trim this. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to trim this skin longer than the lower skin. So I sort of stretch it here. There's the back of the previous piece of skin, so I'm just going to come back a little bit longer there, and I'm just going to, with the pressure of the stretching the skin, just put that up, and that will give me a little bit more of a taper. So it gives us like this teardrop, almost crayfish like effect on top. And the rabbit is really mobile. Now this rabbit, it's an unusual colour, but it actually came from Ban Valley, and I liked it because it was kind of along the golden pheasant colour scheme. So rear of the fly, we then move into the sort of standard shrimp style of the fly of the time. So the rear here, you could use gold holographic. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a gold braid to tie this. So I'm going to tie that back here. Take my thread forward. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to super glue all of this, because I find that, well, for a start it'll help the braid adhere to it and make it more secure, but I find that rabbit can rust hooks a little bit at times, so I think soaking all the tie-in point helps to reduce the chances of that. So I'm going to wrap this braid forward, and you can see it's taken up about 2/3 of the body. And come over the front of that taper and tie that in. So, standard shrimp tying then, I would use an orange hackle or orange badger hackle. So take a badger hackle there and I'm going to double it. Take out the tip, tie it, flip it and bind over that, and then wrap that. You can see I get my fingers in the way here, but that's because I'm stroking the hackle back and keeping it in the sweep that I want as I wrap it. Tie across, flip it back, and tie our tying thread back. Snap off the stalk. So for the front of the fly we're going to use the silver braid. So tie that in back up to the orange hackle. Take our tying thread forward, and then same little blade of glue there. So you can see the front section is shorter than the rear section. Trim that off. And then I'm going to take a couple of jungle cock feathers. So I'm going to take a couple of jungle cock feathers. I'm going to tie them on like a V or a roof. One on each side, just match them up for length, hold them in place. So trim those off. If you want, you can fold them back for added security as well. And then front of the fly is going to be a silver badger. So earlier on in the season I prefer a whiter sort of a badger, and then later on I prefer a more golden badger. So I'll double that. Same thing, take out the tip, tie across it, flip it back, tie back, and then wrap. Tie that off. fold it back. Create a head. We can now snap that off. And finish off. Our tie-in. And then I'll just secure the head. So what I'm going to use here is I'm going to use super glue for the head, and just put out a little blab of it here, and then I just use my dubbing needle seal the head with that, and then whenever it dries we'll go with some clear varnish, Sally Hansen's clear hard as nails, over that. So that is our Zonker shrimp tied. So plenty of movement in it, just something different from the golden pheasant, and also with golden pheasant getting harder to get, it's another option. So thank you for watching until the end of the video. Please take this opportunity to hit the subscribe button down below, tell your friends about the channel, and if you want to watch some more of my content, then check out some of the links that are appearing in your screens at the minute. As per usual, I hope you enjoyed the video, so until next time, tight lines, and thanks for watching.